This guide is going to be following the official steps from the Git bug pages. I'll make sure I link that in the description below where you can copy and paste all the commands. There's a couple things that you're going to need, and the first thing is to install the core wallet. In this guide, we're going to be installing it on a Windows PC, but there's also a Linux and OS X version available. Next, you're going to want to have a VPS service to host your node. In this guide, we're going to be using NodeOrbit, but if you have your own VPS service that you want to use, you can check out this guide and I'll walk you through the steps. When setting up your node, you're going to need a collateral of 1 million Neoxa tokens. If you don't know how to buy Neoxa tokens, you can check out these guides and I'll walk you through the steps. The first thing that we're going to do is set up the core wallet. The reason why we're going to do this step first is because syncing with the blockchain can take up some time. To install the core wallet, we want to go over to the GitHub page for Neoxa, and we're going to be taking a look at the latest release. At the time of recording, version 5.1.1.4 is the latest release out. We'll go ahead and click on that. They have several different versions over here. We're on a Windows PC, so we're going to scroll down a little bit, and we're going to be downloading the Neoxa Qt version right over here. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to download the file. We'll click on it to open it, and here it is inside my downloads folder. I'm just going to drag it and put it on my desktop. Okay, and it's extracted it onto my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and minimize these files, and what I'll do next is double click on it to open it up. And if you get a Windows Protect message like this, you can click on the More Info button. This warning's coming up because it's an unknown publisher. We just have to click on Run anyways. And then we'll get a welcome window like this. Now you can leave it in the default directory or you can select a custom directory. It's really up to you and where you want to store it. In this example, I'm going to be leaving it as default. I'll go ahead and click on OK. The next step is to set up the wallet. So if you already have a wallet, you can go ahead and import your phrase, or you can click on the Generate button and it'll give you one to keep. So it'll generate a phrase for you. What you want to do is make sure you do not share this with anybody. I'm not keeping this, so that's why I'm showing it to you. Write it down and keep it in a safe location. This is an important phrase because you'll be able to recover your wallet if anything were to go wrong. Once you have that, you can go ahead and click on the Import button. We'll get a warning to encrypt the wallet. We'll make sure we do that in just a moment. We'll click on OK. And then we get a message from Windows Defender. We want to make sure that we allow access, so we'll click on that. To encrypt our wallet, we just have to go up to the settings menu at the top and then select Encrypt Wallet. And then you can go ahead and put in a passphrase. You repeat it, and then you can click on OK. What you'll also want to do is make sure you have a backup of the wallet.dat file. To make that backup, you go up to the File menu up here at the top, and then click on Backup Wallet. And what you can do is you can select a location on your PC to create a backup of this wallet data file and then save it. The wallet has now been backed up and saved. You can keep that in a secure location. You can also save this on a USB stick or store it somewhere safe. So what it's going to do right now is it's going to sync with the blockchain. This might take several hours depending on your connection. What I'll do is I'm going to let this sync up in the background and we'll jump over to the next step. The next thing that you need is a VPS service, and this is the place that's going to host your node. Like I had mentioned in this video, we're going to be using NodeOrbit. You can go directly to the website or you can use my referral code to help support the channel. I'll make sure I link that in the description below. We're going to be at the main page right now, and what we want to do is click on the Get Started section. Here we are at the sign up page. What you want to do is put in your email address and assign a password. If you have Discord, it's going to be a good idea to put in your Discord username because then you get access to the Discord server, which gives you great support. Once you're signed in, you can go ahead and scroll down here. If you scroll down a little bit further, you can see that Neoxa is now listed here at $6 a month. This is a very competitive price considering you might be spending upwards of $25 per month. So it's a significant discount, and I've used this service a while hosting my Flux nodes, and I can tell you that in my experience, it's very reliable. The annual price and the monthly price, so you just pick whatever you're comfortable with. You can see that the annual price, you're going to be saving a couple bucks a month. Click on Buy Now, and then click on Payment. It's going to bring you to the payment window where you can enter in your credit card information. So you can go ahead and do that and then click on subscribe. So here we are at the dashboard for NodeOrbit. As you can see, I have a couple of Flux nodes already running. And if you go into the other node section, I already have one Neoxa node already running. I was testing it out and it's working perfectly. When you subscribe to the service, you'll get a line like this where you have to click on the Update Node button. So we're going to click on that right now. And what it wants is your private key. So I'm going to leave this window as is, and we're going to jump back over to the wallet, and we're going to jump forward where the wallet has already synced with the blockchain. Okay, so here we are in our Neoxa core wallet. It is fully synced up with the blockchain. What we're going to want to do is generate a new receiving address. So we're going to go in the receive section and we can just label it. I'm going to call this one master node. And you don't have to put anything else in here. When you click on request payment, it's going to generate an address, which is right over here. What we're going to do is we're just going to copy the address and we'll close that. And then we're going to go into the send section. We're sending ourselves 1 million Neoxa. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that address that I just copied. It automatically put in the same label, which is master node. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be entering in 1 million. Yeah, that looks like a million. Okay. There we go. Spaced it out. So I'm sending myself 1 million Neoxa. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the send button. And it's letting me know that there's fees. The fees are pretty minimal, but you want to make sure you have enough for the fees. Then you say yes. It says the transaction has been sent. And now what we need to do is wait for one confirmation. So we're going to go over here into the transaction section. Here's the transaction. We just have to wait for one confirmation to go through, and we just received that one confirmation. That's great. What we want to do is build our Protx command within our wallet. This is the command that we're going to be modifying the information in here, like the transaction ID. So now that we have one confirmation, I'm just going to right click on this and I'm going to say copy transaction ID. And over here, I'm just going to highlight this section and then I'm going to paste it. And now what we want to do is go into the tool section up here at the top and then go to the debug console. In the space down here at the bottom, we're going to type in smart node outputs. And then we're going to hit enter. And we want to see if the transaction is a 1 or a 0. We have a 1 over here, so that's what we want to put in our text file. So the output over here is going to be 1. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting in my server IP address. So here is the Neoxa service, and you can see that it's generated me an IP address. This is the IP address that we're going to use so we can enter this in our file. And for the port, it's going to be 8788. Okay, and now we need to get a fee address. So we're going to go back over to the debug window, and inside here we're going to type in list address balances. So there we go. And in here we have all the addresses that we have. We want to make sure that we're not touching the one with the 1 million, which we're using as collateral. It could be any of the other ones. So I'm just going to pick the first one in the list, which has a balance. We're going to copy that. We're going to go back over here, and inside the fee address, we're going to go ahead and paste that in. Now that we have all the information we require for this command, we're just going to highlight it all. And I'm going to go back into my debug window and I'm going to paste it in. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Okay, and it just generated the configuration file. And right over here, you see operator secret. Now this is the private key. What we want to do is highlight this and copy it. And here we are at the dashboard for NodeOrbit. We have the update node button. We're going to click on that. And we're going to be pasting in our key. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. And then we just have to click on update. So the node is successfully updated. This might take a few minutes for it to register an update in the system. I'm going to click on the dashboard button over here. Okay, and here we are at the dashboard. Sometimes it might take a minute or two to update, but you can see that it is now online. The status is ready and no updates are required. So everything is good to go, and that's how you do it. That's how you set up the Neoxa node using the NodeOrbit service. Hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'll make sure I'll link everything in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.